India's economic survey for the financial year 24-25 has come out. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitaraman placed the report of economic survey in Parliament today. The economic survey actually is an assessment of the performance of different sectors in the economy during the previous months in this financial year. It also makes some predictions about the how economy is going to perform in the coming months in next financial year also. You see, there is nothing secretive about this economic survey, and the performance of economy has already been assessed by many other agencies, research houses, rating agencies, etc. And as per the economic survey, there is nothing to be worried, but there is nothing to get overjoyed or getting overboard is not justified. That is the situation. India has achieved a kind of stability. The growth rate has fallen a bit, but at the same time, it's not bad also. Inflation has stabilized. On the trade front also, external front also, things are stable. So this is what economists say. But you see, when I say this, the problem nowadays is that the society is highly polarized. Certain people want to say there is a roses all the way, and other people they say the BJP government has been a total failure. Actually, I feel that the truth is in between. I would congratulate Narendra Modi government for the decent performance, and but this kind of growth rate is not enough to the Prime Minister's dream is to make India a developed economy by 2047, and by a growth rate of around 6%, it's impossible. So this is the situation. Let's take a closer look on the economy based on the data available on the public domain. Welcome to Insights. I am Hari Kumar. As I said, a couple of weeks ago, the RBI published the GDP growth rate for 2024-25, which was 6.4%. When we compare that with the GDP growth rate of, you see, 23-24, which was 8.2%, that is significantly lower, like around 2% low. But still, you need to remember that many big economies around the globe, they dream of having a growth rate of over 6%. And India actually leads many big economies in economic growth. So that is the situation. As I earlier said, inflation is under control. The inflation in 24-25 was 4.8%, which is less than 5%, and which is really commendable. But at the same time, we need to remember that the goal of RBI was to have inflation at around 4%. So we still need to work on that front also. And nowadays, you see developed economies like the United States and China have very low inflation rates, like around 2% and less than 1%. I think we can make this better, control inflation in a better way also. And why the economy, the growth rate in economy fell? That is because you see the investment rate has slowed down over the last few months. This is what many reports suggest. The investment rates, both government investment and private investment, has fallen. But at the same time, the economic survey says investment has picked up in the recent months, and this trend is likely to continue in the coming months also. So the economic survey says there is nothing to worry about this. That is the prediction. And let us look into the growth rates. Over the last few years, India had achieved excellent growth rates. Like in 21-22, it was 8.7%. In 22-23, 7.2%. 23-24, it was 8.2%. So that was a dream run, and there is a halt. It has suddenly slowed down. We need to improve it. If India is to become a developed economy by 2047, India needs to grow at over 8% for at least 15 years. So then only we can achieve the dream of becoming a developed economy. But again, let me remind you that that's not impossible, because India has already achieved growth rates of over 8% in twice in the recent past. So I'm sure that India can achieve, but at the same time, India needs to work on that front. Again, the economic survey itself has stressed on the need for creating more job opportunities. I think India needs to do that. Without creating job opportunities, our demographic dividend, that is, we have got a huge population, a huge number of youth. Without increasing the job opportunities, the demographic dividend is going to become a demographic, bane. So on that front, we need to work. Like we need to invest more on manufacturing front. I think this it is the manufacturing industry that is going to provide you with a huge number of job opportunities. That was how China progressed, and India cannot escape from that. We need to improve our manufacturing sector. We need to make it grow by leaps and bounds. Not a slow growth is not enough for a country like India. And I have read that over the last few months, what happened on the infrastructure development front, where it was mainly the government investment, was the execution side was much slow. By infrastructure development, I mean road development, then rail development, then airport, port, and other infrastructure development. Mainly on the road development front, the activities got slowed down. That was actually because of the difficulties encountered in implementation part. It's not because of lack of funds. The problem was land acquisition. Then again, because of the heavy rains, activities got slowed down. I think we need to overcome all those aspects. When I say about all these things, I want to remind the authorities that India needs to work on controlling corruption. You see, I feel that as a journalist, I have covered infrastructure front over many years. I know that there is huge corruption on the front. This is why you see acquisition activities gets slowed down, then construction activities get slowed down. So you see you have to work on that front. Without making governance transparent, governance effective, the government cannot achieve the growth rates. Just by having good policies in place, just by allocating money, we are not going to achieve our targets. If you want to achieve target, you need to, I would say the goal should be rooting out corruption. Of course, that's a utopian dream. Every society will have corruption to a certain extent, but you need to bring that under control. So I hope the government will work on that front. Again, the government should promote innovation, you see, because you see that our industrialists often want our workers to work for, say, additional 20 hours a week, or they want workers to work for 90 hours a week. I don't think this is the way to progress. The way to progress is through investing in research and development, science and technology, in incorporating out of the box ideas, bringing in innovation. You see, just because India gives cheap labor, you cannot expect the country to grow. I think so. Some fundamental changes need to be brought in the thinking of our industrialists. And on the private sector, I think they need to invest more in the economy. Now, our economy is mainly driven by the government investment. I think private sector should also chip in with more investment. Then again, efficiency should be increased. It's not how many hours you sit in the office, how efficient you are. That's the most important factor. I think the government needs to focus on many other areas. The government needs to remove the red tapes. The government needs to control mafias operating in different states. You see, it is not the trade union, but the mafia, the nexus between corrupt politicians, bureaucrats, and other sections that often cripple the growth of economy. I think the union government needs to find that and remove it. For example, you see, our there is a parallel economy in India, and many people are not paying taxes. Actually, for those who honestly pay taxes, the tax rates are high. I need, I think the government needs to work on all those fronts, and let's hope that our economy will shed its lethargy in the coming days, and it will re-energize, and it will retain the momentum which it achieved after the uh, just after COVID days. So let's hope the economy will be able to, our economy will be able to become a developed economy by 2047 as expected by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Meet you with budget updates tomorrow. Till then, goodbye.